What a beautiful crowd this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, veterans, their families that we have with us, welcome again to today's ceremony. Thank you for attending. Again, I'm honored and very humbled to be speaking with you on such an important occasion. Being part of this annual event is and always will be a treasured experience for me. I want to take a moment again to thank Vin Gordon for that national anthem. I'm going to invite you to football games this year. So the little nuts and bolts first here. The Wreaths Across America story began now 27 years ago when the Worcester, I've been pronouncing that wrong the last few years and no one corrected me, but the Worcester Wreath Company from Harrington, Maine, initiated a tradition of donating and placing wreaths on the headstones of our nation's fallen heroes at Arlington National Cemetery. Recognition of the service and sacrifice of our veterans and their families. It's especially poignant during this holiday season. In 2008 and each year since, Congress has issued a proclamation proclaiming Wreaths Across America Day each December. This year it's today, Saturday, December 14, 2019. And now this is the 8th year that I've counted that Lapine has participated in this event. Let me share this from the Wreaths Across America website. Each year, millions of Americans, a third of whom are children, come together to remember the fallen, honor those that serve and their families, and teach the next generation about the value of freedom. This gathering of individuals and communities takes place in local and national cemeteries in all 50 states and in numerous sites on foreign soil as part of National Wreaths Across America Day. Each year, a new theme is chosen to help volunteers and supporters focus their message and outreach in their own communities. This year, the national nonprofit announced that the theme for 2019 is Everyone Plays a Part. The inspiration for this year's theme was a recommendation made by 10-year-old Miles, or Mighty, they call him, Miles Worcester, the grandson of the founders of Wreaths Across America. Last May, while in Washington, D.C. for an event, Miles saw a U.S. serviceman in uniform at the hotel where he was staying. As he always does, and this is what impresses me, a 10-year-old, as he always does, Miles walked up to the gentleman, reached out to shake his hand, and thanked him for his service. The soldier's response was simple and impactful. Thank you, everyone plays a part. Miles went directly to his grandmother, Wreaths Across America Executive Director Karen Worcester, to tell her that he believed the statement would be perfect thing because, as he said, those serving in the military are doing their part. But it is our part as Americans to remember and honor them. And that's what Wreaths Across America does. Well, side note here for me, that really impresses me that not only has his family created this event and sustained this event, but they walk their talk. They're teaching their children to honor and respect these servicemen. The millions of Wreaths Across American volunteers and supporters, from school children and educators, professional truck drivers, first responders, veterans, Gold Star and Blue Star families, corporations and other nonprofits that support Wreaths Across America, devote so much of themselves to the mission to remember, honor, teach in their own communities. Each of them playing a part in helping to plan and participate in local events and fundraising activities, sponsor, transport wreaths, and raise awareness. When asked how he feels so many people across the country come together each December to remember, honor, and teach, Miles said without hesitation, "It makes me feel proud to be an American." This is from a 10-year-old. Stu pointed out how many participating cemeteries are all. In 2018, last year, nearly 1.8 million veteran wreaths were placed on headstones at last year's 1,640 participating cemeteries around the country and on foreign soil in honor of the service and sacrifices made for our freedoms, with each name said out loud. So where do we take this theme, everyone plays a part, with today's event? Well, there's a quote that's been around for a while. The author is unknown. It says, "We don't know them all, but we owe them all." This is so true. While we all have those that we know firsthand that served our country, possibly gave their lives doing so, we could certainly never know them all and know the part that they played. So this year I thought I'd share a couple of those brave individuals with you. They each have stories to tell, from the crosses at Normandy, the markers at Punch Bowl, the tombs at Arlington. The fallen heroes who rest in places unknown. From our founding revolution to today's global war on terrorism, more than 1 million men and women in the armed forces have sacrificed their lives while defending America in time of war. Let's look at over 70 years ago. Americans were still celebrating their great victory in the European theater, a triumph that came at an enormous price. But that celebration was tempered with the determination and sacrifice that still lay ahead, as Americans and their allies were engaging the Japanese in ferocious fighting on the Pacific island of Okinawa. One such American was Dale M. Hansen, a 19-year-old from Wisner, Nebraska. At 5'9" and 141 pounds, Private Hansen was by far the biggest Marine in this unit, but he fought like a giant. He landed on Okinawa with his unit in Easter 1945. At a crucial stage of action on May 7th, Private Hansen crawled from an exposed position where he used a rocket launcher to destroy a strategically located enemy pillbox. After his weapon was destroyed by enemy fire, he seized a rifle and continued a one-man assault and opened fire on 6 Japanese soldiers, killing 4 before his rifle jammed. He fought off the 2 remaining Japanese soldiers with the butt of his rifle, returned for cover, then advanced again with another weapon and some grenades. Private Hansen proceeded to destroy a strong mortar position and kill 8 more enemy soldiers. For his actions on May 7th, his parents would later receive his Medal of Honor. For while Private Hansen survived the heroic actions that earned him the medal and the enduring respect and gratitude of the American people, he was killed by a Japanese sniper just 4 days after his amazing display of combat valor. Private Hansen, like so many other defenders of freedom, is forever young. But sometimes we may forget that those that did their part that weren't on the front lines. They weren't in the line of fire. By the most recent information we have, it takes close to 6 military personnel to provide support for each frontline soldier. Most of them and their loved ones never expected them to be in harm's way. Brittany Gordon lived a life of service. In the Tampa Bay Times, her mother Brenda recalled a letter that her little girl wrote to the Tooth Fairy. "Dear Tooth Fairy, will you please leave the tooth under the bed, and I will return it the next night. P.S. I want to take it to my school and share it with my friends." That just speaks volumes to who she was, her mother said. As a 24-year-old Army specialist, Brittany was among a group that was delivering furniture to an intelligence office in eastern Afghanistan on October 13, 2012. She was just doing her part. She lost her life when a terrorist detonated a suicide vest. Brittany was a shining light, her cousin remembered. Like Private Hansen, Specialist Brittany Gordon is forever young. The numbers of our fallen heroes are not just statistics. They are real people with real families who lived in real communities. We can best honor their sacrifice by remembering their families who have lost so much. Long after the battlefield guns have been silenced and the bombs stop exploding, the children of our fallen warriors will still be missing a parent. Spouses will be without their life partners. Parents will continue to grieve for their heroic sons and daughters that died way too early. We need to be there for them, not just as citizens of La Pine, but as American citizens. Nobody can replace these fallen heroes, especially in the eyes of their families. Americans must remember freedom isn't free. In fact, it's only possible because of our fallen heroes have paid its high price. A price paid which enables us to have ceremonies and observances like this in towns across this great country. This is a day for us to remember the promise that President Lincoln once made, to care for him who shall have borne the battle, and for his widow and orphan. Remembering our fallen once a year is not enough. The widows, widowers, fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, and children remembered every day. The empty seat at the dinner table, a small gathering on holidays. The voice of a loved one heard only as a distant memory in one's mind are constant reminders that they are gone. We're blessed with a beautiful and wonderful country because of these heroes. A free land, a land of constant promise and hope. We owe it to the heroes that died and the loved ones left behind to make sure their sacrifices are remembered and that their service to this nation always be honored. So let's remember now to do our part by always remembering, always honoring, and always teaching the next generation about the value of freedom. So, just as in years past, today again, I offer this pledge, and I ask that each and every one of you will take it on also. You will not be forgotten. You will never leave our hearts or our lips. We will teach our children about your sacrifice and valor so that they can forever remember and pass along to their children someday too. You've protected our freedom and country. We now promise to protect the memory of you. As we go about our lives today, tomorrow, every day, every year, walk as proud Americans and always remember where your freedoms and country have come from. Remember, these are real people, real stories. May God bless them all. Thank you for attending today. May God bless your families, God bless our troops, and God bless America.